am Sue Webley. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. Listen, that's how I get myself amped up for the show in the morning, especially off of like a few hours of sleep. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning to you. I see you coming in. Welcome to another episode of Inspire, where we have empowering conversations for positive change. I see you coming in. I want to shout out those of you who are here on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram. Listen, we are all over. Come on, someone say all over the world. We are all over the world right now, and I'm excited about it. Chuck Hunt, let me tell you something. I say this brother right here, he be the first one on and the last one off. You support this broadcast. You support Chuck Hunt supports everything like I happen to be a part of. Rivers happens to be a part of. T-Fam happens to be a part of. So thank you, Chuck Hunt, for coming on and for checking in before we even went live. So good morning to you from Monroe, Louisiana. Good morning, Chuck Hunt. Good morning, Naquita. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, I see y'all coming in. Do me a favor. Naquita's at the crib. Do me a favor, y'all. Type where you are watching from. Type where you're watching from. And, I'm going to ask the question later on. So if you got something in the cup, if you don't have nothing in the cup, there's something in your cup because, I'm going to ask that question. Instagram, I see you. Hey, Mello. Hey, author Danny. Good morning to you. Good morning. Hey, Dave Tony, dear brother. It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining me. Listen, if you're here for the first time, you don't know what the heck this is. You just kind of stumbled. You were stumbling across the internet and you're watching from somebody's living room. Okay. You stumbled across this broadcast and you don't know what the heck this is or who the hell I am. I am Sue A. Webley, your host. I'm an author, entrepreneur, and award-winning minister. I am the founder of Current Solutions LLC, which is a full digital service agency that helps individuals and organizations navigate the virtual space with confidence. I see y'all coming in, man. Oh, I'm so excited about today's show. Inspire is a live interview style broadcast where we have empowering conversations, right? To elicit positive change. We are on a mission to encourage, empower, and embolden y'all, right? To create change in your personal lives, your communities, and in the world. And so as our guests, our fabulous guests, our entrepreneurs, influencers, creatives, and others share their testimonies, tips, and tools with us, we hope that you are inspired to elevate your mindset, pursue your dreams, and to do, as the late Dr. Katie Geneva Cannon put it so eloquently, the work your soul must have. Hey, Bishop Bonnie, it's good to see you. Erica Taylor Page, good to see you coming in from California. Listen, y'all up early. Y'all up early in Cali and up early in Las Vegas. And so I'm so appreciative that you have rose up early on this good Saturday morning to come hang out with me on Inspire. Listen, I want you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. I'm at Inspire with Sue W on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, you can head over to our website at www.getinspired.live. Now, most of you who have been with me from the beginning know I was pushing Current Solutions LLC. I need to build up my following on my Inspire pages, okay? So do me a favor and please go and like it. and follow me. Go to the website, subscribe to the newsletter so you are not missing anything that's happening with Inspire. You could also listen later on Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. We're Inspired with Sue on all of those platforms. So now here comes the question. I gave you our time to go grab something. I gave you time. What you sipping on this morning? What you got in your cup? Is it what is it? Juice? Is it, listen, orange juice, apple juice, a smoothie? What you got? Listen, if you got something strong in that cup, I'm not judging you, but y'all know I got coffee in my cup, so I'm about to take a sip right now. This mushroom coffee, let me tell you something. Do y'all see the glory cloud hovering? And it's not Rise. It's not the Rise one. Even though I have had the Rise one. And the Rise one is good. It's just a different, it's a different flavor from the one that I drink. The one I drink is more earthy, more woody. But this mushroom coffee is giving me my life this morning. What are you sipping on? What are you sipping on, y'all? Let me know. Daddy says water in my cup. If y'all see me looking this way, I'm checking out Instagram because StreamYard, come on, y'all need to get together. I need to be able to see my comments on on one screen. So I'm looking this way at Instagram. Daddy has water in your cup with ginger. Is that fresh ginger? Did you cut up a piece of fresh ginger and put in there? Let me know. Let me know, Daddy. Dave Tony is drinking mushroom coffee with oat milk creamer. Come on, Dave Tony. Listen, we're kindred spirits this morning. Dr. Marilyn Pagan Banks, hey sis, coffee with vanilla protein shake. Let me know what you're sipping on, y'all. Or what you want to sip on. If you don't currently have something in your cup, let me know. Let me know. Do me a favor. I'm so excited about our conversation today. I want you to share this broadcast. So share it out. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with your networks. Tell somebody to come on and get inspired this morning. Because listen, this is what we are all about. We are all about inspiring y'all. And I want everybody to know about Inspire. So y'all share. We're going to, I don't want to belabor the time because I want to get into the conversation with my friends. And I'm so excited to have Abby Woods, the president and CEO of Quartermain Media, with us. And I know, listen, she told me this is an older bio. So she can correct it when she gets on, but I'm going to read the whole thing because I need y'all to know just who we are dealing with, who is gracing the Inspire stage this morning. So Alberlyn Harris Woods, affectionately known as Abby, is a native of Los Angeles, California. As an A Better Chance alumna of the Harvard Westlake School, Abby received a Bachelor's of Science in Industrial and Labor Relations at Cornell University. She returned to her hometown of Los Angeles to complete the JD MBA program at the University of Southern California. She is educated, y'all. She is not, no, it says here she's a co-founder. She is a co-founder, but she is the president and CEO of Quartermain Media, LLC, a production agency that specializes in developing, producing, and amplifying diverse voices. As an avid storyteller, she also brings to life and uplifts influencers of color through Q to Culture, a magazine that shares untold stories of Black social media influencers owned and operated by Quartermain Media. Abby is passionate about merging entertainment and social media influencer marketing. She caught the video producer bug while consulting for Maker Studios, now known as Disney Interactive, to launch the Walt Disney World Best Day Ever YouTube channel for tweens. In 2013, Abby and co-founder James Woods Jr. launched Quartermain Media. The company became the first Black-owned creative agency with full service production capabilities to be listed in the YouTube service provider directory. In 2017, Quartermain Media was selected to manage and advise Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud YouTube channel. The channel grew from 400,000 subscribers to over 2 million subscribers in less than 9 months. I think I need to hire Abby for my YouTube. Her experience with advertising and brand integration never lost on her desire to provide platforms and opportunities for social media influencer talent to work with top brands and advertisers. Opportunities are often limited to traditional celebrity talent. In addition to Disney, Abby has worked with other top brands, including Sephora, Toyota, AT&T, Ford, Paramount Pictures, California Community Colleges, and the Los Angeles County Officer of Diversion and Reentry. In 2021, Abby signed on with BET Networks to produce BET's 20s After Show with B. Scott, one of Lena Waithe's Hillman grad productions. This historic production aired on October 13, 2021, becoming the first television show featuring the first ever trans non-binary person to executive produce and host a television show, B. Scott. Y'all know B. Scott. Quartermain Media continues to develop television and film projects while also maintaining a great relationship with being a part of the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission, plus producing consistent content for Meta and Microsoft. We got a heavy hitter. There's a heavy hitter getting ready to come to the stage as we get ready to meet Abby. Let's take a look at their scissor reel.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
Hey. Hey, sis.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's so interesting to watch other people watching what we do. It's like, oh yeah, that's interesting. It's cool.
How are you this morning?
I'm well. I'm sipping on a bit of sweet tea.
Listen, I need to put you full screen for a minute. Come on, let me see what's in that cup. Let me see the cup.
It's almost empty, but it's let's see. Rise above and take flight.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. What you got in there? Is it coffee? Is it tea? What is it?
Sweet tea. I'm in Mississippi, so that's what we do down here.
Come on, MISSI, PPI.
Yes. Well, it's so good to see you, Sue. Love always our conversation. So really grateful that you invited me to join you today.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that you said yes, and I know like the Inspire audience is excited to have you here, just as excited to have you here as I am. And so in that scissor reel and in your bio, we learned a little bit about Quartermain Media. Can you tell us a little bit more and your role as president and CEO? I like president and CEO.
Well, thank you. It's so interesting. It's actually a brainchild. This whole company, I guess, a brainchild between myself and my husband, James Woods Jr. We were dating at the time, and he shared a story with me about, how he was this big, pretty baby, as he says. I say he was spoiled, but big, pretty baby. And then his grandfather said he should have been born a Quartermain. And he asked me, do you know about the Quartermains? And I said, of course. My grandmother watched the stories all the time. And he said, well, when I get a chance, I'm going to do a company, and I think I'm going to call it Quartermain. I said, all right, cool. We'll call it media. And together we put together the LLC. We started with $250 each, put it into an account, and here we
Wow.
are. I became president and CEO, though, upon his suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
We are members of the Minority Business Enterprise NMSDC, across the nation. But James said, Abby, I think we're missing opportunities by not being woman owned,
Yes.
and you're doing so much of the work. And he said, I think we need to switch that up. And I go, what? I would have never, I didn't even think about it. We just were 50-50. And he goes, but if we
Yeah.
just do 51, 49, we'll make it happen. And
Yeah.
so this past summer, that's when we changed all of our operating agreements. And literally last week, we became official entity of the state of Mississippi. So we
Yes.
are proven and making changes, and really excited to now be positioning ourselves for what's called the Southern region, not just
Okay.
Southern California, but the Southern region, which includes Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, and Mississippi.
Wow. Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. And so what is your role? Like what are some of your responsibilities as president and CEO?
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, you wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is absolutely to one day become a business owner where I just collect the checks. But until that day, as president and CEO, I really am responsible for selling the company to others, letting them know about our work, trying to get new business, but also being a leader and helping others that are in our employment to to fly.
Mm-hmm.
We have an eagle as our mascot, I'll say. And I always tell people, they're most majestic when they fly alone. So we are a little bit different than other places. When people come to us, I immediately help them with their resumes, and we
Mm-hmm.
immediately get their LinkedIns together. And they're always like, but I thought I'm working with you. It's like, yes, but you should be getting yourself ready to, to truly take flight.
Yes.
And how you present yourself is such a big to do. But in addition to working with a mighty team of people and interns, we are also all about creating stories
Yeah.
and producing those stories visually.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really heavily involved with the creative development, strategy, all the way through. But I have a mighty team of people that help me, and James, of course, who loves me. That's like icing on the cake. So it's all good there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. So this industry was inundated, right? It's saturated, right?
Yes.
What are
Yes.
some of the things or what are some unique strategies that you utilize to stand out in this crowded
Yeah. Yeah,
space?
it's a very challenging field, but I find that our biggest thing is that we really come from a place of collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Chuck? I know he said he's near Mississippi, so that's what's up. South of Black Power. I think that one of the things that have stood out for us is really we saw a lane that wasn't filled,
Mm-hmm.
even with all the production going on in California or across the land. There really wasn't, an agency that was fully immersed in utilizing influencers, working with brands to develop short form content. And so that was a while ago. Again, like we've been around for a minute, since
Yeah.
2014. Then that's when we got ourselves together. And then it was like official paperwork was 2016. But when you think back to then, YouTube branded content, it was around, but it really
Mm-hmm.
hadn't exploded just yet. And so
Yes.
now where video is king right now, and also short form video content being king, we have really been able to kind of be leaders in that space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also just be mindful of the curves that are coming. So right
Yeah.
now, our team is being so diligent about AI and VR and AR and all the new
Mm-hmm.
things that are coming that are going to disrupt our lives. Every industry will be impacted.
Yeah.
Uh, but I would say branded content has been the way, but also doing what I also saw that no one else was doing, which is why aren't some of these amazing, talented people like the B. Scotts of the world,
Mm-hmm.
getting opportunities with traditional media? So we've been developing shows for them, and I'm really excited about some of the things that are coming. I can't quite talk about just yet, but hopefully everyone will follow our journey and
Yeah.
celebrate what we are able to
Yeah. Yeah.
explain it.
So what can you talk about?
You
What are some
know,
of the connections or folk that you've worked with that have really
yeah.
highlights for you in this work?
Yeah, no, we've had such a great opportunity to, and this kind of goes into the question you asked as well.
Mm-hmm.
We were based in Los Angeles, but then we landed a major client of Meta and also Anscape under Disney. And they were like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
can you be here? Can you be there? And it really opened us up to becoming a national production company. But we
Mm-hmm.
were really not able to, we were really not able to say that without being able to make great alliances and friendships, I'll say, and business relationships with production companies all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things why James and I really love what we do, is because we're not out here by ourselves. We
Yeah.
like to meet it's almost like we like to meet ourselves in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We like to meet ourselves in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Washtenaw County. Like there's all these places that we've been, and we're like, we would have never, in Chicago and New
Mm-hmm.
York, and
Mm-hmm.
we have such great in DC. And we've been able to connect with so many artists around the country, whether they're in
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, all over. And everyone is really about working this work. They're about creating content, they're about producing. And so we were like, okay, well, we're based in LA, now based in
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi, but we feel absolute at ease should a client call us wanting us literally to be somewhere next tomorrow,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be able to produce really strong content, and work with some amazing Black directors. All of our work has always been led by Black directors, and we just really appreciate the opportunities that to bring this work out, and also to work with major brands, but also have
Yeah.
very um, diverse behind the scene people. And that includes women, people with
Mm-hmm.
disabilities, veterans. Like
Yeah.
we kind of like we really embrace that. But we also are like, hey, if you're an artist, whatever that looks like, white, Black, or otherwise, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had so our first meeting. Our first meeting was just a bit okay. So when we first met, it was for a dear friend's the celebration of life for her mom, and
Mhm.
um and we ended up working together to do
Yes.
the live stream production. So I was in Chicago at the
Yes.
time, and I didn't know, like, we didn't know each other, but
Not at all.
you said, I can't remember something you said. I'm like, this woman knows what she's talking about, because you said something only a producer would know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I said, good for
Probably. I
her. There's no learning curve over there. She knows she does. I'm like, she got to be, in the business somehow. Didn't know like the extent of it. Um,
yeah.
but I was like, and it was like the seamless experience. And then he was like, yeah, we got to link up. We have to meet. And your dad happens to live in Chicago,
Yes.
right?
So
And
I
so
was
we decided to
fascinated
meet.
by the stream. I had never done a live stream at all. And Dawn Jefferson, I'm gonna shout her out, right? We got to
Okay,
call her.
there she is. I didn't know. Dawn, I'm sorry, I didn't see you on Instagram.
Exactly. I'm pulling Dawn to the carpet, making her friends come work. You know,
We love Dawn. We love Dawn over here. Listen to nobody.
love Dawn.
Listen to me. We love Dawn
Yes,
Jefferson over here,
yes,
and so that's how we
that's my
met, and we
heart.
decided to meet in person. And it
Yes,
was like
and
we
Marquia.
knew each other like forever.
Yeah, and that's how it was with us when we first met. Met during the Lead Business Program back in, like, I think we were rising seniors, so that was like
Mhm.
90. Yeah. And so, But yes, we definitely clicked. But I was so fascinated by the production, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is so awesome! I want to learn more." And so when I went to Chicago and got to meet you, and you walked in with that just fiery red lip, I knew we were going to be knowing each other for forever.
But I mean, you made me, and so you keep telling me I'm not an introvert. I keep telling
Yeah, I
you I
think it's
am.
hilarious.
And
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Like as we're sitting on your live stream, you're okay, right? As we're sitting here on your live stream, and you're like that you do consistently, that you do
I
well.
have extrovert tendencies, okay? But we clicked, and we had like this fabulous conversation over coffee, and I can't remember where we went, but it was coffee and like some kind of pastry.
Yeah.
And then you were there you were there to scout a location, yeah? Were you
Yes,
scouting
that's
the
right.
location at the time? So I ended
Yes, I
up
was
going
scouting.
with Abby to
Yeah, we were
scout this
scouting for Metas.
location for
Yeah, we were
Meta.
scouting. Yeah, it was great.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I remember Abby's like, and this is one of my producers. I'm like, you better call that into existence, child. But
It
it's
was great.
so it was just such an amazing experience to kind of and as I was walking with you, I just felt like, yeah, like it's like, yeah, this is the type of thing I should be doing. This is
Yeah.
the type of that I got that feeling like I felt so comfortable in that
Oh,
space, and meeting with the people at the location, and meeting I can't remember his name, but was he a production assistant?
he was a PA at the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
wanting
yeah.
to be that day. Yeah.
Yeah, and so kind of just like, so that whole experience was just amazing for me, and I can see how when you bring people on to work with you that they have that same sense of comfort,
Oh,
right?
good.
You really
Yeah.
make it comfortable for people to show up as their best selves. And so I
Yeah.
so appreciate you for that. And I know that anyone who's on here that works for Quartermain Media can attest to that. So you can go ahead and shout it out if you happen to be on. You can attest to that, how it's just, I know just from being with you that day and kind of doing that walkthrough with you that day, that Quartermain Media has got to be an amazing place to work for.
Oh, thank you so
So thank
much.
you
Thank
for all that you are doing. Hey y'all, I see you still coming in. Thank you again. You are here hanging out with me and Abby Woods, the president and CEO of Quartermain Media. We're talking about all of the wonderful things that Quartermain Media does, and about Abby herself. We'll get into some more personal things a little bit later on. But you're also if you have questions for Abby, please post them. I will make sure that she gets them. You're also the editor-in-chief of Q to Culture. So this is another thing, another connection, right? That I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like we kind of like, we do the same thing. So I haven't been editor-in-chief of my own magazine, for like, it was 8 years. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, she's the editor-in-chief of magazine. Tell us about Q to Culture.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. So when in 2020, production shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like God really got with me and was like, what, you guys start to ask your questions, like, what am I supposed to be doing? What's all this about? Everything. And it just came back, I got to create. And at the same time, Earl Grey Sr., the
Mm-hmm.
founder of Black Enterprise, passed away. And it really bothered me because I felt like, wow, I think I was drawn to becoming a business owner and being an entrepreneur because that was what was on my coffee table, right? In my
Mm-hmm.
home, in my grandparents' home, in my aunts and uncles, in our community. It was in the beauty salon every week,
Yeah,
like Jet, Ebony, all of those things. And I said, man, the now generation, I wonder what they're going to have, right? Be able to have those conversations, but also to be able to elevate and amplify their what business looks like to them.
yeah.
And have been around, especially doing video production for a lot of the social media influencers for some time now. I was like, wow, but there's no archiving or chronicling of their life journeys unless they
Mhm.
buy a book, right? There's
Yeah,
no one
yeah,
really documenting these, in my opinion, these business owners, these new businesses, these new
yeah.
entrepreneurs, these influencers. And so we decided to just, say, okay, well, I just need to figure out how I can celebrate this Black influence and Black influencers.
Hmm.
And the first call I made actually was to B Scott. And when
Wow.
I called B, they picked up and they said, "Hey, Abby." And I was like, "Oh, B Scott still has my number in their phone." And they agreed actually to do the cover in exchange for me being their producer. They had a show idea, they were trying to get it
Wow.
out. So literally, it kind of like turned into itself. And all of a sudden, we found ourselves on a call and conversation with Lena Waithe, and
Hmm.
it was just, it was go time. And so I say all that to say that then we just started telling these stories of Black social media influencers. And as I
Hmm.
learn about them and as I see more and more, it's happening so fast, we have not even been able to put out a fourth issue.
Wow.
It's just how so fast. But what we are doing is looking to convert our print into
Mhm.
more of a video first platform
Okay.
scenario. So
Okay.
looking for that to come out this summer and really kind of evolve. But I love print still, and I do think that there's a need to remain with that chronicling of this lightning that's
Yeah.
happening, and also to keep a record of what happened,
Yes.
because we know internet can turn off tomorrow, right?
That's right. That's
That
right.
all out. Also, during the pandemic, there's all this creativity happening, and I was like, 10 years from now, nobody's going to know to research what was going on or what was happening. And so I said, let's like make sure that people know what conversations that Black influencers were leading, but also Black people, like conversations that Black folks were having.
Yeah.
And so we are working now to kind of do that conversion, but we will still remain with the print edition. That'll be kind of like where we do a catch-all of all the
Yeah.
fun, great stories, trends, and conversations. We're also pushing ourselves to not just be a place where we're talking about influencers, but also the
Hmm.
platforms. They're
Yeah.
changing. How do you do this in the
Yeah.
gig economy?
Yeah.
Young people now, they want to be an influencer, like, as a career. Well,
Yes.
there's no tips and tools really, like, kinda in a place where they could go and say, "Okay, how do I do that?" And I
Yeah.
think that we'd like to be that for them. So I'm excited for where we're going to turn things, for Cue the Culture, and I have a really great squad that's, developing things, and like I said, looking at AI and all the other
Hmm.
things that go on to see how we can really bring this about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we're so excited. Well, congratulations on all of the success so far, and we're so excited to see what comes of Cutie Culture and how it's going to expand. And I'm excited about that. Listen, Dawn says,
Oh, Lord. She's like,
Dawn says we know who to hire in those tight moments, Quartermain and Kara.
"Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
that's true. Yeah, that's great. Great. This is a
She said
great tag
ambiverts
team."
unite. So we're ambiverts. I guess we, yeah, isn't she amazing? Dame Tony, she sure is. She says, when will you and I start our podcast together?
I'm enjoying this conversation, and I would absolutely like to talk with you a little bit more about what we could be doing together. We've been saying we need to do some stuff, so
Yeah,
I don't think it's far off in the future. I don't think it's far off for us to do some collaborating together. We
yeah,
we we work
yeah.
real well together. So I know it's
Yes, we
supposed to be
do.
for a reason. Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And she says that Q the Culture is amazing. It's a gorgeous magazine with smart, relevant content. And yes, it is. I'm going to post the link for Q the Culture in the chat in a minute, but we're going to take a quick break. And then we'll be back with more conversation with the
Before
amazing.
you go though, Before you go though, Dawn has like 2 articles that she's written for us, so that's also a big up.
Yeah, I'm going to post that link, but we'll be right back with more conversation with you, Abby. All right, listen, this has been such a wonderful conversation so far. Need to take a break to do some housekeeping. And one of the things that before I go into Kara stuff or to inspire stuff, I need to shout out my dear sibling, Prasyani. She needs a kidney donor. She needs a kidney donor, right? And so she's in search of potential donors. They should be fairly healthy, blood types A or O. Some of you on here know Pastor Yanni. And 3, the courage to commit to surgery and save her life, right? And she'd love to share the safety measures with you. So this is the fact that we are putting this out there on social media means that it is vital. It is important. It's a dire situation. She needs a kidney donor. I'm also going to be posting this on social media. So when you see me post this, please share it far and wide. You can contact her at peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. That's to contact her and her family directly. You could also head over to emorylivingdonor.org, emorylivingdonor.org, to fill out the survey and enter her name, which is Ayana Davis. Please, 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 if you are able, if you know someone, and if you can't, pray. Let's all lift her up in prayer. She needs a kidney donor, and we want to do our part over here and Aspire to help her meet that goal. So let's come together. Let's pray. Let's do something so that she can get her kidney. She's been all over the place. Listen, she has done what the divine has called her to do, and so we know that God is going to be faithful to her, and she has been faithful to God. So let's come together and take care of our own. All right. Housekeeping. The Pink Love Lab Live is coming up now. This is a member of the first show under the Inspire Network, and I'm so excited about it. So it's hosted by the relationologist, Dr. Rainier Amin. Our next, if you were there for the first one, if you missed the first one, I need y'all to go back. It's on my page on social media. You can also go to Dr. Rainier Amin's page. You type her name anywhere, she will come up. Okay. If you missed that first program, but it's about life, love, relationships, and everything in between. You have the opportunity to submit your anonymous questions. You can submit your questions anonymously about love, life, or relationship, or anything else before the show, for the opportunity for it to be on the show, right? So your question, your query will be addressed live on May 16th, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching right now on a laptop or your television screen or whatever, you can use your mobile phone to scan the barcode that you see on your screen so that you can submit your anonymous question, and then be sure to meet us right here, wherever you're watching from right now. That's where you can watch it as well. Meet us on May 16th, sorry, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of the Pink Love Lab Live. Speaking of the Inspire Network, listen, we trying to do something over here, y'all. We trying to do a little something over here, okay? So Inspire, where inspiration finds its voice. So we offer everything from consultation all the way down to full production packages for your live show or your podcast. So if you're interested in learning more about the Inspire Network and how you can be a part of it, please email me at sue@getinspired.live. Email me at sue@getinspired.live. And if are you or someone you know on a mission to create change while inspiring others to do the same, we want to hear from you. We want you to join us on a future conversation, right? Future episode of Inspire. So again, visit us on our website at www.getinspired.live to book your appearance today. Now, I'm supposed to have a business spotlight that I missed. I missed the email that she sent me, and I had promised her today that I would do it, and I don't have it. So if you're watching right now, I am sorry. I'm gonna make sure that you are on, that I do your spotlight next week. I'm gonna honor that free business spotlight for you next week. We are getting ready to get back into some more conversation with the amazing Abby Woods. Welcome back, Abby.
Thank you.
It's been so good chatting with you, and I'm grateful for all of the people that listen. The Instagram is just going off. Instagram is going off, and so again, y'all who are watching, if you have a question for Abby, please, please, please post them so that so we can make sure that she answers those questions. So let's get a little personal, right?
Okay.
How have you navigated, right, the challenges of being a Black woman in this competitive space?
Woo! I'm here. I'm here,
Yeah,
but it is
yeah.
not easy. Here's the thing: it's not easy to be a creative and be a business owner. I will say that, right? So then when we layer it with being African American and we layer it with being a woman, I'm 6'1". I'm not a petite little thing, right? I'm
Mhm.
chocolate. I love being Black. Like I just love it, right? Those are the things that really I don't know what will meet me, right? I just have to know and be so I always just say in
Mm.
faith
Mhm.
steeped in a knowing of who I am, what I bring, what I know, also what I don't know.
Yeah.
But it has been an absolute challenge. But what I would love to just share, and maybe this is getting too deep, but I mean, you tell me, you cut me off if I need to.
No,
But
no, go ahead and share, child.
I would say that one of the challenges that I face that I didn't expect was actually resistance from people who look just like me.
Mm.
Um, they say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, all
Kinfolk,
kinfolk ain't
yeah.
skin folk, right? And I would say some of my biggest hurts have come from family, have come from Black women that I looked up to,
Mm.
um, Black men that I looked up to, and it has really challenged me in a lot of ways. I never expected that, having gone and experienced the places and gone and done some of the things I've done.
Mhm.
After you'll say, "Oh, you worked with Disney, you worked with Meta, you worked with Microsoft, you worked with all these people," and and to then still be questioned about your ability
Wow.
by anybody is a absolute challenge, right? But I think that I'm of the mind, no matter how challenging it is, sometimes I am learning to count it all joy.
Mm.
I literally this year more so than anything, especially because I think I just my mom passed in 2021, and I just have had to really center myself on relying on God and relying on my faith and understanding the Holy Spirit and understanding Jesus's walk and his talk and his teaching. And what I've come to is count it all joy.
Oof.
Whoo, it's hard to do. It's hard to do, but there are lessons in all of it.
Yeah.
And what really got me together, I would say, this year was I was having a hard time, and I was in one book of the Bible, and I was in there. I was like, okay, okay. I was like, Lord, this ain't speaking to me. And I remember just saying, well, where do you want me to go? And I just plopped the Bible open, and it was the first chapter of Job.
Mm.
And I said, oh my goodness. And I remember, yes, go on and run. So I remember reading, and I was like, Satan comes up, is like, Jesus, like, God is like, where you been? But the thing is, God knew where he had been.
Right.
Where he had been. He's like, oh, look at this, right? And
Mhm.
here all this stuff happens to Job, all of this stuff in the first chapter. And at the end of it, he said, in the first chapter, lost everything, going
Yeah.
crazy, what's going on? And he says, bless the name of the Lord.
Mm.
How many of us do that? We usually
Right.
get mad. We usually like, Lord Jesus, Lord. We go crazy. But instead of saying, "Ooh, this is hard," but you want me to have this lesson for some reason. Like I've even had to, again, even just with family, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
Lord, why that? Oh my God, I love my siblings, but this is crazy. But
Yeah.
then you say, but then I have to realize their resistance or the struggles that maybe I'm having in that relationship, they're so intense that random Joe Schmo off the street, you got to stand in line. You got to stand
Mm.
in line with people that I know, and some people that I have dealt with, some people that I, that I'm challenged with, that I love.
Yeah.
So bring it,
Mm.
And so I know you went all the way around, but I just really wanted to make sure that I get that to whoever needs to hear it.
Mhm.
And also knowing that this is a faith game. If you decide to be an entrepreneur, or if you
Jesus.
know an entrepreneur, everyone really needs to understand that they're in a faith game. Okay, so you threw it out, Meta, Microsoft, Disney, right? Girl, let me just give it to you. So we ran payroll yesterday,
Mhm.
Friday. Well, Wednesday I woke up, I didn't have payroll. I was like, Lord, you gonna bring me payroll. I've got to take care of your people. So start to have a different prayer. You start to
Right.
have a
Right.
faith walk in prayer. And it's like, okay, well, let me send this email and be like, hey, y'all, is it going to hit on Friday? Because if it hit on Friday at midnight, we good. And they're like, yeah, it'll hit on Friday at midnight. I'm like, great, I'm going to run payroll. Like, that's a faith walk.
Yes. Woo. Jesus.
People wouldn't guess that that's the dance that a lot of entrepreneurs do, no matter how amazing their business might look on the outside.
Yes.
You might be dealing another, like especially for some of us that we don't come from money.
Right. Right.
Well,
Right.
then you're dumped with all of this, and you're like, okay, this is awesome, and then you're like
Yeah.
riding high, and then all of a sudden there's a cliff. No, it's a deep, steep
Yeah.
cliff.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say again, mascot is an eagle.
Mm.
You better spread them wings. Let's get out here. We can deal with a cliff. We might dip down a little bit, but we're gonna come back up.
Yeah, yeah. Whew, I love it. I love it. This because you and I were talking last night about the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur, and one of the things that I said is that people see the glory.
Yes.
People
Yes.
see the glory. They don't know the story that's
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, yeah, they don't know about the in the red bank accounts and the wondering if you're going to be able to pay rent or if you're going to be able to buy food this week. They don't know, like they don't know that struggle. They just see like the pretty things. They see what's
Yeah.
happening on the outside. They see the cover, right? They see Meta and Disney
Yeah.
but they don't know like the stress and the anxiety and all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like, I mean, so and even with that, I mean, I have dear friend Bert Wright. He straight up when he talks, he brings a banana and a roll of toilet paper, and he's like, "Listen here, entrepreneur. This is what you're looking at. This you
Mm.
need to be able to have." But not even. He's like, "I don't have some deodorant and a piece of pizza up here. I got a banana." And toilet paper. And he's like, and you gotta figure it out. You're gonna have to make it. And even though you have these amazing clients too, they don't last always. So
No, they
you
don't.
have to. You ask me about, oh well, what do you do as a president and CEO or whatever? It's like, okay, we're working this one client, but we also have to be looking ahead at what's next. Okay, this client might go away and they've been paying this amount and you were living great, great, great. Okay, and what will it be next month, right? And it's like that, I would say, for a lot of entrepreneurs and even businesses. Like if you meet a company, they're like, okay, we got all this. The respect I have for the places that I did work, completely different now. You run payroll a couple times, you have a different respect for an employer, a different respect for a company that maybe you've even worked with in the past, because they're doing that times billions, right? Down times millions, down times 10,000. Because even if you were 100 employees, that's a lot of pressure on a company. So to me right now, I'm like, okay, can we take the people we have, make sure they are paid, taken care of, and take care of well. I call their names on Monday mornings, to ask God to watch over them. I pray for my clients. I didn't even know that was a thing you could do. Praying for your customers, praying for your clients. Little things like that, I think, just really help me to maintain sanity in this, but also when it gets hard, take that pause, bless the name of the Lord. And I bring it all back to, I'm going to count it all joy. I don't even know why just yet, Lord. Don't know why. Reveal it in due time. Right. But I'm not about to, not about to, I don't know why it is, right? I don't know why it is just yet, but that's not for me just yet, right? It's really because God's got a plan. And I stick on that.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for sharing. There is a question that I'm going to get to before we close out. So, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, right? And so you talked about your faith, you talked about counting it all joy. What are some specific ways that you or specific rituals or things practices that you engage in to help to maintain mental health, your mental well-being?
Absolutely. So I do have in my opinion, I have a more intense prayer life now than I've ever had in my life. And I do that in the morning before the day begins. I have affirmations that I say, especially about things that maybe worry me. But what I really gathered was, I do mirror work where I literally stand there and I talk to myself about what I'm concerned about, things that I am proud about, things that I commit to, but also things that I forgive myself for. And it has changed my life. I love it. It's something that I try to do every day. I also journal. I spend at least 30 minutes journaling. And I also try to do it while listening to either jazz or meditation music. I live in the country too, so I listen to the birds. I listen to nature. I listen to what's going on outside when there's just like a stillness. And I don't know. I just feel like I really have truly developed a different love of self, that has made me. I think it brings me the confidence that perhaps you see. Right before this call, this conversation, I was like, Lord, let them see more of thee than me. So if you're like, oh wow, she's dope, it's because God is dope. God is like, yes, God is amazing. God is all the things. God, wow, she's amazing. It's like, no, God is amazing, and He is working through me. And I just, I really want to make sure that I wanted to make sure of that before we do it. But in addition to that, I want to share with this being Mental Health Awareness Month. When my mom passed, she actually told me, she's like, "Look, if something ever happens to me, Abby, you might want to see a therapist." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know." She, Mom, you're gonna be fine, blah blah blah.
You're gonna
But
live forever.
yeah, I'm live forever. Wait a minute. But I think that I appreciate her saying that to me when I was younger, because it's I've said this to other people that she passed, but she passed to me. She passed so much to me. And I didn't know that the writing in the journal and the prayers and the mirror work were already things that I had sort of learned and gained in the writing. I gained a lot of that during 2020. And I kind of think that I was like pre-grieving a lot of things that ended up happening when my mom passed. But I still needed to talk to a therapist because, like I mentioned, the relationship with my siblings, it just kind of just didn't turn into this coming together after my mom
Mm.
passed. It kind of exposed a lot of things that maybe we didn't want to acknowledge while she was alive, but it just came to a head. And so having to grieve solo was not anything I expected. I felt like maybe I'd be able to talk to these people, but God just started sending me a lot of her friends to for me to go through this with. And then also I have her smile. So I can see her most when I
Yeah.
smile. And I knew that before she passed. And so I can't be in this state of sadness and get to see her. I don't get to see her. So if I smile, I get to see her.
You get to see
I
her.
know that it's yeah, so it's an interesting thing, but I would say therapy it's good even if you think you knowing the way to go. I maybe
Mhm.
need the therapist to say, yeah, hey, you're fine, you're doing your thing, keep doing it, and oh yeah, maybe not engage that person anymore, or
Mhm.
maybe be okay with the things that you're realizing. Like I don't have children, and it's like, okay, well, I was supposed to have children, and she's like, "What do you really want them?" And I was like, "I kind of like day drinking, so I don't know, you know." You have the conversation, you're just like, "Oh," and like, "Well, is this something that you?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I can still do these other things," and
Mhm.
I don't know. It was it was a really good to talk with someone about the
Yeah.
things that were maybe I thought were even on my mind, but just suss it out and be like, "Oh, that's not really on my mind the way I thought it was," and keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. I want to make sure before you tell us about your dreams for the future and wrap up, I
yeah.
want to make sure that I get this question in that came in. So, Danny said, "What?" I'll just throw it up on the screen. So, what are your suggestions for an upcoming author trying to get my book on the small screen as a still stigmatized LGBTQI Black industry?
Yeah. I tell people all the time, don't worry about the industry, just create. There are so many people that would be open to helping you, but even if they don't, help yourself. So I
Mm.
say that to say, I don't have a publisher for my magazine. I just went on and did my research and found this company called Blurb, and they're like, you can print as you go. And all right, that's how I'm going to do it. But then when it comes to the screen, like TV, film, I want to encourage you to study whose work you like. You
Mhm.
never know. They might be willing to at least take a meeting with you. They might be willing to say, hey, this is a really cool idea. Let me see what's going on. But also, we got cell phones, we got AI coming. Is there something that you could do on your own? I don't know. And I would say to you, you just met me. Send me what it is you're looking for. Maybe I know somebody in my network if it's not something
Yeah.
that's specific to me. Or maybe it's talking about it to people, not being afraid of that idea, especially if you feel like God put it on your heart. Like
Mm.
there's some purpose for it. So you got to get it out. And don't let yourself be the reason why it's not out. Yeah, don't let yourself be the reason why it's not out.
That's a whole word right there. Don't let yourself, because we will.
Yeah, but you know what? Something that I say is, and I wrote it down actually before this meeting. It's like, I am an unrepeatable miracle. The ideas I have, the ideas that God gives me, if I don't do them, He will find a way for them to get done. So if He gave it to you, get going, get it done. Have the questions, reach out to your network. There's all these people that are in the chat right now. I think somebody might be able to help with something or know somebody, and that's the way we should be operating. This is community, right? This is community. And so yeah, let's get it get it get it through, and then also get it to, right? Get it out of yourself, right? But then let's now take that next step and get it to someone and say, hey, what do you think? What are your thoughts? okay, this might not work, or hey, this could work if you do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different mediums too, right? We have YouTube.
Yeah.
So is it that you might want to create a little mood reel of existing content and
Mm,
pictures, and you can kind of maybe, push that along? Or is it something that you really need someone to help like pitch? So if it's a development sort of scenario, I don't want to discount what they're asking. If it's a development sort of scenario, that is something that my team likes to do. We
yeah.
like to take an idea and say, okay, what network would this go on, or what streamer would this is looking for this, and then how do we change things up? How do we develop it so that it's palatable to someone who's a buyer? And
Yes.
those conversations are something that I would be more than happy to have.
Yes. Yes. I'll make sure. Let me just go ahead and post these links now. And Danny, I will make sure that you get Abby's email address. I will send it to you. Danny was on Inspire a few weeks back about her book, and her book is amazing, her memoir, and I
Yeah,
can definitely see that on somebody's big screen. So we're gonna call
that's
that
right.
call that into
Love it.
existence.
Love
As
it.
we
Love it.
yeah, as we close, what are your dreams for the future, Abby?
Oh, I want to just create and be responsible for bringing forth stories that are that is just a long legacy of beauty, exposing God's greatness, exposing people to other beautiful stories. We don't have much time here. We don't have much time here. And I want people to absolutely, I want to experience joy each and
Mm,
every day, even when it's hard. I am so loved. So I'm loved by myself. I'm loved by my God. I'm loved by
mm,
James, and
mm,
but I want others to experience that love, to know that it's there. It is right in you. It is right in you. And if you can't feel it, try again because it's there. You're an unrepeatable miracle. It's never going to happen again like this again. again. And I hope that more conversations like this are had. I hope that more love and light and energy and inspiration to empower people and positive change. It can happen. I know our world is hard right now. It really is. When you turn on the news, you're like, "Yeesh." But one, he's coming back, and then two, there is beauty in some of the most simplest things, whether that's getting your favorite ice cream or listening to a bird chirp or seeing a bird that you don't get to see. Like I lived in LA, I always saw pigeons, but to see, chickens and, blue jays and things like that, it's just, I don't know, it's just beautiful. But definitely intend to make impact. I am absolutely here for Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama and Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. I'm here and I'm a wreck shop. I'm a wreck shop. I get it. I'm an alien among black, white, everybody down here. I get it.
yeah.
But definitely intend to have absolute impact with being a video production company, ad agency, marketing strategist company for for generations to come. We're building something special. We're
Yeah.
building something special. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Abby, for hanging out with us today. It has been such a pleasure to have you, and inspirational, which was the point. And I know that, listen, I was blessed, and I know that our audience was blessed by your wisdom today. I have posted those links in the chat. So if you want more information about Quartermain Media, that link is in the chat. And if you want more information about Q to Culture Magazine, that link is in the chat as well. Please do me a great big favor and go and support. Go visit those links and support what Quartermain Media and Q to Culture is doing. And we look forward to having you back again in the
Yes.
future. We'll
Yes.
have you back again and hang out with us some more, and for us to learn more about what you're doing in this industry. Thank you again, Abby.
Thank
Hang out in the back for a minute so that this your local video will finish rendering. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.
And anytime, Sue. Anytime. Thank you.
Well, we have come to the end of another amazing Inspire. Thank you all for joining us and for sharing. Listen, after we end, still continue to share. Still continue to share. This has been such an impactful conversation, and we need to get it out to as many people as we can. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until next time, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated. And most of all, I want you to stay inspired. We will see you next week.